was the way that the Lord was dealing with the old patriots, like in the Old Testament, like even with Jeremiah and Daniel, Ezekiel, and Moses, and how God, dealt with them, especially on Moses' part, because he had an impediment of speech. But then how the Lord told him, amen, he said that now Aaron, amen, will be your mouthpiece. But when the Spirit of God comes in him, he don't need no mouthpiece, amen, because God himself, amen, speaks and did speak through Moses and used them in such a time like that, amen. But I definitely want to shout out, amen, my mama, amen. She's one, amen, that inspired, encouraged, amen, and gave direction. But it was the late Apostle Johnny Washington, my father in the gospel, amen, that I sat under him, amen, and I was his chauffeur, valet, amen, put up tents around the country, amen, set up convention halls, amen, where we had our conventions, but it was him, amen, and how he carried himself and how he lived that what he had preached, amen. He was a prime example, amen, that one, amen, that I would follow. Well, what I would do is change a lot of the leaders, because they're not examples, amen, of what they preaches and teaches, amen. They can teach and preach a good sermon, but it's a life behind that, and they're not living that, and they let the standard of the church down to the very fact is that anything goes now, and that's why people are no more longer looking at the church because of what is going on, what's happening in the church. What happening in the church, they're doing the same thing in the world, so they don't see no different in that. But that's what I would do. Amen. I would change leadership, because you change leadership, then the sheep or the fruit will follow behind good teaching and real living, that what they are, teaching and preaching about. Being confident of that very thing which he have begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. That's Philippians 1 and 6, I believe. For Philippians 1 and 6, being confident of that very thing which he have begun a good work in you, he will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ, meaning to the return of Christ, he will perform it.